Right guys, update. I'm giving you one here now because if I don't, I'll forget about it. Parilla looks mint. I'm pointing up in here. Parilla looks mint. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, she's floating. I'll spin it round in a minute, we'll go and have a look. Spent far too long doing these bash rails, crash rails, bushwhackers, whatever they are. Nobody knows what they are. I think I might have said it last video, there's some other bikes with them on. Some crazy Italian thing. I think it's because they could bend tube, they just wanted to bend tube, stick it all over the bike. Got some here. So I started this last week doing these crash rails. I've had Jonathan down probably for about 4 hours. We've talked about them, mangled up bits of tube, tried them on bike. It's just been a nightmare. They look alright now they're on because they're matching, but we both said that, me and Jonathan, we're both designers, but design background. I think that's made it harder. I said if Mike were here, he just said just stick them on, they'll be right. Because me and Jonathan are both designers, been looking at it and it's like don't look right. I don't think it were ever going to look right until you put it on, and then it's on the bike, it's part of the bike. It becomes one, doesn't it? It just looks right. I don't know, it's weird when stuff does that. So now they look right because I finished them. So, yeah, it's been... I thought I'd just come in, spend an hour on them today, just finish them off. I said that to him last night, actually. When he left last night, I said, it'll be half an hour. I'll do them tonight and then go home. Looked at it, thought, yeah, they might be a bit longer than half an hour. I still need to fiddle backwards, forwards, up, down, left, right, little mills here, there, everywhere. Yeah, I think I've got them. They're locked in place, brazed on, bolted up. Let's go and have a look. Basically, I need to do a video. Jonathan's a designer. He's going down London today, I think, for a design conference or something or other. Design meeting up of the designers. And he doesn't have no way to send photographs. You just think, what designer don't have ways of sending photographs? So I'm going to do a little video for Mike, send it Mike, get him to forward them on to Jonathan. I think I have got him on email, but I'll just send him Mike first because it's Mike's bike. So that's that side. We've got this gear lever's all the way down, and we've got, much gap, a finger's worth of gap there. Ooh, focus is bad. I'm trying to put it on auto, just to see if it'll just track everything, but it's still not doing. So yeah, that'll come down, foot will be on there, got enough clearance for that bash rail, and then it's been a case, the bash rail on the other side's always been right, it looks right, so we've just been trying to match this one up with clearance for this. It's a heel toe, so you don't need to get your toe underneath it. Stamp on it there to change down a gear, stamp on it at the back with your heel to change up a gear. Heel toe. Yeah, that bit were tricky, so it's just trying to get that matched up. So we swooped it up, put a little kink in here to match it up with the other side, but it didn't really need it. The kink on the other side, because the pipe's here in it, so you have to drop it down lower to get it under the pipe. So that bend down, the swoop there, you need that on opposite side, but you don't need it on this side. But yeah, just trying to get them matched up. So you're looking at it there, they look fair matched up. There's not much you can see there because mudguard's dead small. Let's see if I can turn you around on wheel. Right, they're level at bottom, aren't they? They look like the one. So that looks like it's running through to other side, which is what you want. You want it to look like that's one piece of continuous tube that's running through frame. It's actually got a bracket here, a bracket there. So that's spot on as well. And then if I just flick it over to this side so you can see that side. So even from here, they look matchy-matchy, don't they? And then on this side, looks sweet, that's what it looks like on photograph. So yeah, we're looking good. And that bit, same again, just less than a finger's gap in there. And it's just got a nice gap round that pipe. So that's right. Then I've flattened off the ends. There we see. And then lined it up with washer behind it, ground it off, put the bolt in, put another washer on front. So it looks like that from the top, that from side on. But same on the other side. Pipe silencer still looking good. Bike secured onto the chain, onto the big beam upstairs. I'm going to have to do that now. I'm going to have to pack all this away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upstairs, lift the bike up, pull them blocks out, pull table. What I've done is I've just lifted it all the way upwards, and then slid table underneath it, dropped it down onto the table. perfect use for that. That was one of the uses I wanted for that Villiers bench. I thought, it'd be grand, I've got another bench. Because I thought about doing it, that one lifts itself up, doesn't it? But I thought if I can just get a sliding bench, that I can just, nice and light, I can slide it around workshop. Slide it under all, lift a bike up, slide bench underneath, plonk it back down. 2 benches, and this one's even better because the wheels are just floating. So we've actually, you can, apart from chain rubbing on tyre, yeah, you can spin front wheel, spin back wheel. It's just sat there. So any bike with like a centre stand or just a frame on its own, I reckon that Norton, you could drop that Norton on there and it'd just sit on frame. Frame would sit on there, wheel either side. Maybe I might, in future, design something to put on either end. So see if there's a spare bolt hole, like there's one there underneath. There's one underneath there that were too close to edge. That wheel sounds really weird. But yeah, if I could get that, if I could utilise that hole underneath, and just so I can use it for a strap, so I could strap it down, and then it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? So yeah, plan is now go upstairs, lift that up, get the bench out of the way. There's someone just turned up in a van or a car, and we've been having parking wars outside. It's kicked off twice. Probably about a month ago it kicked off on Saturday, and then it kicked off this Saturday. Mainly because I've got 2 cars parked outside the workshop. They're not happy about it because they've all got 2 cars. I don't think they watch these videos. If they do, shh. So yeah, I'm going to go and check on that. I won't be back. Hopefully I'll post some of these up, but I've been stressed with all that shit that's going on outside. So I've got 2 weeks worth of videos saved up. Let's go and check out, see who that is. See if they're getting pissed off at me van being outside. I'll see you soon. Have a good one. In a bit. Right guys, update, we're back on. Don't know how I finished that last video. I think we were whispering. About the parking wars. It weren't them. It was what's going to cause the next flipping Spring Play Civil War. Basically, you can't see. I'm stood here against back wall. That's the way out. That way. That way is a dead end. That's always been an issue. It's not. That used to be the parking area. That used to be spare land on side here. That's where everyone parked the cars. Not necessarily the neighbours, because there weren't many. Half of these were houses, half of them were businesses on Main Road. There were shops, barbers, butchers, bakers, all sorts of things going on at Main Road. Mainly there were pubs. The big massive one here in Middle Flats, that used to be a working men's club, big thing, snooker hall, you know, all that kind of stuff. Big old fashioned working men's club. The one on the end started off as a pub, then converted into a sweet shop. Been there since, don't know, 30s, something like that. No, earlier than that, might have been there since 20s. What were he called? One at King's, King come past. King before Elizabeth. King George, weren't he, I think. He come past, there's a picture of it outside shop there with all signs on it. Same with working men's club, so that were a working men's club. Next door to shop were a barbers, I think. They're all houses now, they're all flats and that. So there's splitting houses up into flats just creates parking problems straight away. Then, guy at end, get on with him, totally fine. No problems with it. It is what it is now, but there used to be, like I say, a spare land there when I was a little boy. People used to park the cars there. The butcher bakery used to keep his bins up against our wall here. Like my granddad used to park there. I think my dad used to park outside workshop. But we also had a caravan. I can't remember where he kept the caravan. He might have kept it there, or he kept it down at the other end. But yeah, we've been using this road for 30 years, and 20 years before that, Derek were using it for exactly the same thing. Basically, it's been a transport workshop, trucks, bikes, cars, since the 50s, 70 years or something. So outside here used to be a row of houses. They knocked them down in the 60s, 70s. Then it was just spare land. Like they were. It's one of the things, you know, like when people say, "What are kids missing out on now?" Tapes. They don't know what a tape is. They don't know what a floppy drive is. telling you something, they don't know what spare land is. There is no such thing as spare land anymore, is there? When we were kids, we were like, oh, we're going to play football on spare land, we're going right building some jumps on spare land, we're going ragging your motorbike around on spare land. It was just where kids messed about, didn't they? Build fires, build dens, go and root fruit rubble, go and find bottles, I once found a socket set. There used to be a bit of spare land at the end of my mum's house where they were a school and they knocked it down. Someone had robbed a garage, I think, thrown all shit down there. I remember finding a socket set, and it were basically a box with a few sockets in it, and then we went rooting around spare land and found out rest at sockets. Buzzing. I was only like 6-year-old. Found myself my first socket set. So down side of here, and then while Grandad's been in workshop, so after Dad died in 97 till like 2010, 10 years. Might be 2007, maybe my granddad retired. In that time, Simon at the end, he's claimed the last little bit of the road, and he's claimed all the spare land, and he split it up into 3 gardens and sold 2 of the gardens to some of the neighbours. The house there on corner, there was some woman living in it. She was a bit of a pisshead. She weren't looking after the garden at all. It was just all overgrown, big jungle. Anyway, end up, she come back one night, pissed up, left her tea cooking, burnt the kitchen down. Next thing she knows, she just moves out. House is up for auction. I asked the guy, her ex-husband, whether he'd tell me that. And he just ignored me, blatantly ignored me. Literally everyone that's been in that house, my granddad said to him, he said, we've asked if we can buy that. They won't sell it to us. People could want to keep using it as gardens, but it's a bloody jungle out there, I'm telling you. They might be able to eat me at the moment, but they're going to fence it off anyway. But there's some new couple moved in that do up houses. They've not moved in, they're just doing it up, selling it. They're doing garden up, grass in it, putting a fence across. People have been using that for the last 6 years or so to turn around, not 6 years, last few years, to turn around in, because there's nowhere to turn around. Basically, when they built them gardens, they got rid of that big turning circle there. So then, at the bottom of the lane is, over that way, there's a little T-junction. That would turn big vans round in. When you come down with your bikes and that trailer, big van, you swing it outside my workshop, you back it all the way up into T-junction, drive back out. Well, 2 new lads opposite. One lives in one house, one lives in another house. And they're trying to claim it, I think, just as a Range Rover parked there constantly. And they keep kicking off about me parking outside my workshop because they can't turn around. Well, I'm just like, well, you keep blocking up the turning circle. And they're like, no, we're not. You are. I'm like, I've been here 30 years. Well, we've owned this building 30 years. I've been in here for 13 years. Call it 14 now. Get to end a couple of months, so it'll be 14 years. But yeah, this month, probably to this day, 30 years. So we've probably been down here like longest. Yeah, it's just a flipping nightmare, man. I keep saying, just want enough space to flipping. I went out and it's just like, because I was going to kick off, I was going to take it to a higher level. Jobby. I went home, talked to Ashley about it. She's like, have you asked him? And I'm like, no, I've not. And she's like, decent thing is to ask him. So I heard him arguing outside. I thought, right, I'll go outside and I'll ask him. I was like, I'll be bigger, man. We'll go outside, get everyone together, try and sort it out so no one has to kick off with each other. The 2 lads basically just don't give a shit. I was like, no, whatever. So I still tried sorting it out, weren't happy. A month goes by, kicking off again outside. Neighbour comes and knocks on my door, tries to get me to join in. I said, I tried sorting it out, weren't interested. So next thing you know, he's calling me a prick and that. Says that I park like a prick even though I've been parking there for 14 years. He's only lived here like 5. Nightmare neighbours. I have to do this. We have to do it literally every other year. Someone new moves into that house and they try parking down back. So they're buying a house. So basically they're buying a house up on Main Road. Their number is 700 and something or other on Main Road. This is Spring Place at the back. It's an actual street, not back. It's not a back street. It's a front street, and the front street of my workshop. It's not a back street to their house. It's a separate street. Otherwise, it'd just be a back street with no name. It's a proper street. Yeah, and they've just keep everyone off Top Road keeps on trying to park on Back Road, and I'm like, I've got a business here on it. I need to get vans down. Not bothered. Fucking not bothered. So, yeah. That were it, but yeah, we're neighbour on this side leaving, and that were all right. I heard a car coming. I thought, if he's coming, trying to park back up again, might kick off. But he weren't. Them leaving, flipping don't know. But yeah, it's going to kick up when they put a fence across that and they sell the house. First thing's going to be the people that buy the house are going to want to get down the back to park Ain't happening. Or it'll happen, I'll just slip in, we'll just all make it more awkward. I want to be able to get down. That's the way it goes. If people from Front Street try to come down, park down back street, me and Guy in Car Garage just try and get as much shit out of our workshops, fill it straight up. Because that's what they're trying to do to us, aren't they? They're trying to fill it up with their cars, so we can't get in. So I just slip in. So I've got my van's got gearboxes going in it, so that's parked up outside. Shogun's parked up outside. That's as much as I can do. I've looked at it legally. Apparently legally I already own it. It's unadopted. The people that are on it, the residents of the said unadopted street, repair it. We've got to repair it. Like, got to keep on top of it. So we've owned this building for 30 years, so you still get down here. Road still. Well, the cobbles outside my bit are the best bit of flipping on the flipping street, the cobbles outside in front of mine. So it's been looked after for 30 years. That means that I legally own it, but I don't own it as a title. Not on land register, we don't own it, but we've been looking after it. So, 30 years. The guy at the end, he's probably lived here 10 years. He looks after his end bit. Me and a girl, neighbour, lives across the road. She likes to keep it clean, I like to keep it clean, because I like to take photographs of bikes outside, don't we? So we like to give her a little bit of the path outside here. She's built a garden in it, which makes the workshop look mint. All nice purple flowers and pink flowers and that all growing up down inside the workshop. Looks nice. So me and her have looked after that, but she's only lived in there for about 6 years. So I don't think she actually owns it. Basically, we've looked after it for 30 years. Guy next door, he's been here for the same amount of time. He's been here since the 70s. So, yeah. But he's not used it. He's not used it in the last 20 years. He's not used it since Dad were in it. Then Dad were in here, so that's 97. I can't do the maths, but it's about 25 years. More than 25 years, isn't it? 26 years now, I think. 27 years, possibly. He's not been in that workshop in 27 years, so it's just been abandoned for 27 years, so he's not been upkeeping in the road for 27 years. He's not been cleaning grass, cleaning drains. That's been me and Shell. So yeah, it's annoying. We flipping nose. I've been nice though. Been nice. Tried sorting it out the neighbourly way. And next, if anyone's watching this and knows how to do that, has done any of that, let us know. Let us know. If you're one of neighbours and you're watching this, well, that's I'm not hiding anything. Like I say, I've tried sorting it out here without taking it to a higher level. The lad across the road threatened me, said he'll have the last laugh. The other lad threatened to burn out my van one day. And so like, it might push me a bit too far now. Might push me that a little bit too far. So anyway, end of that. Let's have a look at some bikes. Got the Henley out. We've done a full workshop move around again. Yesterday I showed you the Parilla. Parilla's underneath there. It's out the way. It's in a bit of a dangerous spot, to be honest with you, because I did have that brand new Enfield parts here, and what I've had to do is I've had these mocked up on this stand and the two pipes, but you never know when you throw that sheet over it at night time, put it to bed. You never know when it's going to spit these pipes off, and if you've got a brand new bike here with brand new tank, you don't want them dropping onto the tank. So I took that side off, but on this side we've still got hot pipes on, because if it drops off onto that, this ain't got anything on it. No tank, no seat, no nothing. Don't think that megaphone dropping off there is going to damage any of that. Don't think the pipe dropping off will damage any engine or anything. They're about as hard as each other, aren't they? They're not going to bang each other. So that's still there. That's done. Apart from we need to bend the back rails, but he's going to come back to me next week. He's away for a week down in London, that design conference thing. So he's going to come back. He's going to think about it while he's away, and then we're going to suss out what we're going to do with them. Chop them off or bend them or whatever. So in the meantime, stare at my floor. We're on with a new Henley, because he's the local guy and he can pick this up as soon as I've done it. He actually asked if he could pick it up today, and I was like, not a chance. I drew the silencer up over weekend. Mainly, that's all wrong. That's off a different bike. That pipe, that silencer's off a different bike completely. Ignore it. So what he's done is give me a picture, like an old advert for one. I've measured the wheel. The wheels are on 21 inch. So then I took home this picture here. It's not this one, but one on the other side. And I scanned that in. My first port of call was to measure up the two I've got. So he brought me a BSA silencer and said that fit. He's tried it on bike, measured it against this top rail here, this bottom triangle. He's offered it up against that, and he said it looked the right dimensions, scale-wise, proportion-wise. And I got that one out, and I said, well, that one's exactly the same. The one he has round ends, this one's got corn ends. So I said, that's near enough. It's the same diameter, same lengthish, same inlets, outlets, all that kind of stuff as the one that you've brought me, but this one has the corn ends. So I'll take the measurements off this, I'll match them up with the measurements that you've like off the other one that you've brought, make sure they're similar. So use a bit of one, use a bit of the other. Took it all, worked out them dimensions on the computer. They didn't look right, the proportions didn't look right. So like that's quite long, and that's quite long on there. I know that's just a sketch, that's like not in proportion at all. But it looked roughly like that one does. And then when I drew it up on the computer, it looked too short, too fat. So what I did then was scan this in, and scaled the wheel up to 21 inch. It weren't bang on accurate, but then when I put the drawing of that silencer over this one, it was too fat. So I've drawn it about 3 inch diameter, and after dropping it over there, I think I've dropped it to 2 7/8 or 2 3/4. I think 2 7/8, so I just knocked an 1/8 off. I knocked 3 milli off it, and I think it'll look a lot better. I still think it looks a bit too short, but when you put the tailpipe on and that inlet pipe, it should stretch it out a little bit from the eye. Like, there's a lot of it, it's eyeing it up. So what I've done now, I've printed them out at home. So I can work these out at here in workshop, but it's just cold. Normally it's cold. It's not cold today, but it's, look, I've got my legs out. Yeah, it's not cold today, but normally you just think, well, I could just go home and sit on the sofa and work these out instead of sitting here in workshop. So I've worked them out at home, printed them out. I also wrote down the dimension for the body, because the computer will work that out as well for me. It saves me having to, it's easy maths working that out, but yeah, it saves me having to do that. So I've wrote that down, drawn that rectangle out there, marked on which way it rolls, because it's fair even. It's like 236 that way and 280 that way, so you could mix them up, but yeah, roll it on the shortest length. And then I've drawn round my 2 paper patterns. I'm going to chop these out on guillotine now. Big old guillotine's been cleared off, and it's in a better place than it was before when it were here. So yeah, I'm going to chop them, roll them. I'm going to roll them. I'm going to forget about what's going on outside. Just forget about it then. Like I say, I don't think they can stop me from coming down here. Might be a little thing of me stopping them from coming down here, but I just don't think I can be bothered. We'll see. Be a trip to a solicitor done it, and that costs money, which I'm not prepared to do. I don't want to pay just to get to my workshop. I should just be able to get to my workshop for free, and I shouldn't have to pay for it. So it's annoying. Anyway, yeah, rollers, right? Rollers are not out. I've actually got this XS850 next to it. I just need to clear a bit of room, get that in rollers, the big one. I think the 2 cones, I could probably just wrap them around that bar. That's what I'm going to do. I TIG weld them up. You don't need seat process, do you? We'll just see what it looks like at end. I'll make all pieces. Get silencer made first. That's my first plan. Make silencer, and then we'll have a look at pipe. Let's see. It's going to get warm for the next 3 days, so it's probably not the best time to be doing a sand bending. But take my top off, do whatever. Like, I don't think you really want to be doing it like 12 o'clock at night, don't you? Before it gets too hot, or once it's cooled down. But I won't be here at 12 o'clock at night, so that's my plan. That's my plan for now. Long video, all this of me just ranting. So yeah, I'll cut them out now, guillotine, get them rolled up. I'll show it. I'll might whip camera out at different stages, but for now, I'm out of here in a bit.